Folks, hello and welcome to the Gamers Health live stream. I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. With me, as always, on Saturday night is my better half, my wife, Rach.
Hi.
So, for those that were expecting to see us at ShireCon, uh, my V, I'll get to your question in a second because you're just trolling. I know we love you anyway.
Uh-oh.
You bastard, you. We were supposed to be at ShireCon this weekend. Had bed and breakfast all lined up.
Yeah,
I had.
It's gonna be nice.
I actually ordered 2 coolers, a big cooler and a small cooler to bring into the con. Big cooler to leave in the trunk. I had my hop tea and my diet ginger beer. Thanks to one of the regulars on the Discord. Great recommendation. Awesome ginger beer.
Yeah.
That's diet and low carb, not carb free.
Good stuff.
But yeah, on Thursday, driving out to Long Island, our muffler started to sound like a low-flying plane was trailing my car. And then it got louder as the day went on.
Mm-hmm.
We were driving back from Long Island, so it became the prudent choice not to attend. So it wasn't because of COVID. Although Gamehole may be one of those that will.
That is because of COVID.
We don't know yet. We'll
see what happens.
Right now, we have a suite. We have.
And it would be nice to go, really, but.
You know, it's one of those things that we can't predict just yet because this is the world that we're living in now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna address Vauban, who happens to be. And he's a ball buster. Tonight's question:
Mr. 666 over here.
Yeah.
Oh,
if I eat a diet of 100% corn and a multivitamin, can I game into my 120s? You know what?
Sure, why not?
As you'll be on the shitter pretty much constantly with 100% diet of corn, I don't know where you'll be and if you can game at all, because your permanent residence will be giving out golden nuggets to the actual throw in the bathroom. So I'm sorry, dude. Can't help you with that one. We are not medical professionals. You know, we talk about our own health issues so you can address your health issues. Neither one of us is on a diet that's 100% corn.
No.
The reason, in my case, would be I'm a type 2 diabetic. And a
corn's a little too much.
Corn diet would be like, woohoo! Wow, look at those numbers. I should play those numbers because they'll be pretty effing high. So no, go bite yourself in your cornhole. So
in your cornhole.
So yeah, really. I'll be honest with you. I severely miss not being at ShireCon because ShireCon is and then Rach is cleaning up as we're doing.
Well, no, that's been bothering me since last week, so I haven't had a place to put my foot.
It's your little thing for holding your shit just fell down, and
it fell down.
Sorry, it been fall down. It done been fall down. We got to pick that shit up now. I was actually very excited about going to ShireCon.
Yeah,
and
we're sorry, Tom.
Tom throws an amazing convention. I can't speak highly enough of what is there, and the players that were signed up for my game. Now, first off, I did something I never do. I actually signed Rach up for my game.
Wow.
Because usually Rach is the person that takes my seat because I stand up all session. All right, I don't sit when I GM. And it's not a health issue. It's just a way of keeping the attention of my players. I want to engage my players, and I will run with a large table. I don't know how many people had put up tables that had a max of 8, but my table was a max of 8 because that was assuming that if they were people who walk up and go, "Oh, do you have room?" There's always that 9th seat in the case, my seat. So, but I didn't want to hear the flack from somebody who a couple of years ago got all bent out of shape because nobody signed up for their game. Even the players that drove to the con with them from their home group didn't sign up for their game.
Yeah.
And yet I took my wife into my game and she wasn't signed up for it.
Well, if it's any consolation to him, I don't think he really would have wanted to play with me. I think he would have got to.
You would have driven him.
I would have driven him freaking crazy.
He'd be like, listen.
Can you go away, please?
Yeah, listen, go play a goddamn Magic Years or some shit like that in your husband's game. Get away from me. I'm done answering questions. I can't answer anymore.
Because you know what I would have been asking. Like, what is
V
it entitled to? What do I do next?
And he wouldn't know because it's a homebrew. You couldn't get to the Shire because of an unexpected wizard visitor. Duh. Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's that Middle Earth joke, but the reality is, I mean, we had planned this. I had a bed and breakfast. All right, nice.
Yeah, we were excited to spend time.
And the bed and breakfast was mostly shared bathrooms, and we were like, we're gonna go for the full bathroom.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, we went
all in.
Full bathroom.
Give me my own shitter because I don't plan on sharing it with anybody.
With a shower
and all that stuff.
Or whatever else.
But we lost not just the deposit, we lost the full boat on that because we weren't able to make it, and we should have been there last night. It sucks, but at the same time, the choice would have been driving with a car that would have been at far less than 100%, and therefore, your whole time there, you would be the mindset of,
what's going to happen?
What's going to happen next? Am I smelling more exhaust? Is it getting worse?
Are we going to die of suffocation?
Yeah. Am I going to pass out?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
you could die of suffocation if you.
Yeah.
Didn't address your muffler. Right?
Well,
it was different when we were kids. It wasn't connected maybe to that.
I'm putting the AC back on.
Or maybe our parents just didn't care that much.
It was. Wait, the AC just kind of went. There we go. Sorry, I was going to go without AC, and I was going to open up the window, but I can already hear the.
It's a choral karaoke tonight.
Yeah, no, I don't think I want that in the background. You're gonna have to deal with the little bit of AC in the background. A little hum. So in any case, instead, we stayed home, and the game plan was that our son's fiance was going to be staying at the house to house sit. And it was kind of like, well, you already had to plan the house sit, so why don't you just visit and hang out here with us anyway? So we did. We've had a very pleasant time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you look at your watch and go, wow, I would have just started my game that I was running at 1:00. Wow, I just would have finished my game that would have wrapped up shortly around 4:00.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because and again, it's okay. Listen, there are 2 conventions that I consider to be pretty much you don't want to miss. ShireCon is one, North Texas is the other, because you're going to see family. It's extended family, but it's family nonetheless. GaryCon is fun. Game Hole is run like clockwork. It's a great time.
Yeah.
TotalCon, awesome con.
A great town in Madison.
But you don't have the same lock-on experience that you do at Shire and North Texas. So Tom's done a really great special thing with ShireCon, and it was like, well, do I get my car fixed, or since I was going to trade it in at the end of the year anyway, do I just bite the bullet and trade it in now so I don't have to spend money going on 2 things, like why fix a car you got to trade in anyway? So yes, the Far West Con 10 years anniversary soon. Far West Con job is what you're talking about.
Oh shit!
And yes, December will be 10 years late, and November 5th, Rach and I will be married for 10 years.
10 years.
So, cheers to my lovely wife, who has put up with me for 10 effing years. God bless you. And
many happy returns.
Our niece Shannon, who also goes by the nickname Tenkara, an ode to her uncle Tenkar. She'll be 11 in December. I actually danced with her at our wedding reception.
Yes.
She doesn't remember. I have pictures. So Shannon, if you're watching, I give you your first dance. I think, perhaps. Maybe your father did, but he doesn't count because he's your father. I gave you your first dance outside of your parents. All right. So it's one of those things. Actually, you know what, Zachary? It's a Subaru Forester, and Subarus tend to hold their value pretty well. So back in June, the dealer was offering me around 10.5 for my car, and I was like, well, I don't need to trade it in now, but if I can get at least 10 for it a few months later, I'll be happy as a pig in poop. It actually runs. Yeah, the muffler for first off, secret. It's a problem that only shows up when you're driving at highway speeds, at least like 35 or so. And New York City has a speed limit of 25. So I had no idea. And they'll have no idea when I trade it in. It'll sound perfect. It won't be going. It'll be humming like a little baby. Like, it's like, oh, it sounds great. And then they'll take it on the highway for the first time and go, oh shit. So
we got a problem here.
We got to fix this.
Or they'll run the diagnostic.
Yeah,
like,
there's no check engine light. But you don't want to wait till the check engine light pops up, right? Then you get it's a pig in a poke type of deal. So, in any case, things that are health related. We are. Listen, it's no secret. I enjoy my beer. I enjoy my wine. I enjoy my whiskey in moderation. So I thought I found a hack for the beer. I was like, oh, this is a great hack.
Oh.
I'm going to do my Coors Light on tap with a splash of St. Martin's Oktoberfest. And with my one bartender, it was a great hack. It was an awesome hack. He did it fine. Just a splash. Maybe it helped I was sitting at the bar. We tried this on Thursday with a different bartender. She's great. She's awesome. Don't get me wrong. But I think that she was doing like a 50-50 mix. My blood sugar was in the 300s by the time we got home.
Yeah, I think she thought, oh, give a splash.
Splash. I'm gonna give you a
big splash.
Big splash. Yeah. I don't even know if it was a half and half. A dark and tan. It wasn't even that. So did it taste great? Sure as hell. But that's because I was probably drinking mostly real beer as opposed to Coors Light. So I mean, I don't want to repeat that. I've been very good with my blood sugar. I generally have it under 200. I've been averaging prior to that, like I don't know, 125 for the week. Now I think my average is like 132 for the week because that one day threw me out of the water, and crap like that happens. They're making less new cars because of chips. It's driving the prices of used cars. Yep, I know. And I actually looked at the stock at my local dealer because I want to trade in for a 2021 Forester, so I can already see what the prices are and what's in stock. And they have what I like, and we'll probably go on Monday and talk it out. Do I expect to be able to drive the price down any? No. Maybe I can get a little bit extra for my trade-in. We'll see. Still, listen, when I traded in my my 10-year-old
Hyundai
Elantra GT for my Forester, they were kind enough to take it off my hands and give me $800. So, I mean, to be able to get 10 grand for a trade-in that you've had for 8 years means that my car, even without the whole chip issue, is retaining value, which is a beautiful thing, and I'll gladly take that. It's a small blessing in this, crapped out world. So,
crapped out indeed.
Again, I've been trying to look at my blood sugar, keep an eye on it. So today we went out to the pub. We had a late lunch, early dinner type of deal, and I went with red wine. And the reason why I went with red wine is twofold. I have congestive heart failure. I have to watch my fluid intake, and a wine serving technically it's 5 ounces. The pub was probably giving me a 6-ounce glass.
At least.
All right, but here's the thing: your beer, you're getting 14 to 16 ounces in a pint glass.
Mhm.
Here, you're getting half that, maybe a little bit less. So you're not taking in all the fluids that you have to worry about. And my personal experience, and I've seen this carry over in some articles I've read online, red wine lowers my blood sugar. So, as opposed to beer, which even the Coors Light isn't going to lower it, red wine will lower my blood sugar to the point where tonight we'll probably have Rach getting woken up as my sensor.
What are we getting? Apple juice.
Yeah, I'll check my blood sugar right now.
Sauce.
What am I at? I'm at, I don't know if you can see that.
103.
103. So if it goes below 70, it'll give me a warning for low, your blood sugar is dipping. And below 50 is where you got that danger zone.
Well, if you don't drink any more tonight, maybe
I'm not going to drink it. I'll have my diet ginger beer. But here's the thing. I have found, strangely enough, that if I get the notification that my blood sugar is dropping, that if I literally just waking up will raise my blood sugar 20, 25 points within the next 10 minutes. So I don't generally need to go out and go to the kitchen, grab juice, or grab applesauce. Now, if it goes low during the day, which it did for me back in June when I was dealing with car issues, and I was going to pick up my car from the dealer, my sensor went off, and it went off, and I was like, "How's it going off? It's like 2:00 in the afternoon." And sure enough, it was like I'm looking at it, and it wasn't like 69, like 55 and dropping. Like, oh crap! And then I walk out the 2 blocks, it goes off again, and now it's like at 51. I'm like, jeez. So I walked into the local, we call them bodegas here in New York, and grabbed one of those naked juices and quaffed that down. So it also is an excuse to drink stuff I shouldn't normally drink. Yeah. So I'm like
very fruity thing.
Zachary, hard cider. Yes. Now, here's the thing with hard cider that I was surprised to find out.
Oh my God, has it got a lot of sugar?
Hard cider. If you're a diabetic, type 1 or type 2, you got to watch the hard cider. But here's the thing: Angry Orchard is almost like pure sugar. I mean, they probably just take spoonfuls of sugar and shove it into the bottle. A Magners has about 40% of the sugar that an Angry Orchard does.
Which I was surprised because, I don't know why, but I was.
So, it's just something to look at. Something that you got to, pay attention to. Even if you're not a diabetic, if you're going to down six bottles of cider in a sitting, and believe me, I love cider. You can ask Laramie from.
Yeah, I wouldn't drink the Angry again. I would stick with the Magners.
Yeah. If I can have cider, Magners over ice, make it last. But our local pub does have Angry Orchard on tap, which it does, it makes it tempting. But, here's the thing. If you are a diabetic, you got 2 ways to address it. Either you don't address it, right? And and that was me for the longest time. It was like, I'm drinking a Diet Coke. How bad could it be? I know when my blood sugar is high. Well, my blood sugar I was hitting a 9.5 A1C. My blood sugar was effing high. Okay. Now my blood sugar, my A1C is down to about a 6.0, and I'm trying to get it below that. It's change of diet. Does the medication help? Assuredly. Medication is not going to handle this on its own. Anybody who has any kind of illness where you have to do life changes to improve your health, and you say, oh, well, the pills are going to do it for me.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. You're deceiving yourself. And it's the only person that you're hurting. You can't. You're not deceiving your doctor. Your doctor knows that you're effing around.
He knows. They know exactly what
Right.
you do from your blood work.
Right. They know you're bullshit. Okay. They know you're full of it. All right. So the only person that you're hurting is yourself. Now, if you say that you're hurting yourself, by extension, who else are you hurting? You're hurting your loved ones, right? Yes. I refuse to knowingly hurt my loved ones, and now that like last year, my eyes were open to like, oh my god, my A1C is what the hell, and what do I got to do? And I spent a number of months on long-term and short-term insulin, no longer on injectables, as Jardiance and metformin, and diet and exercise. I get out there and I make sure I get a walk in. After this podcast or after this live stream, I'll be getting on with my friend Zach from Frog Guy Games.
Handball.
We're going to racquetball. We're going to do VR racquetball, which, by the way, has another side effect. I have stenosis in my left shoulder, pretty significant. It's due to radiation from when I had Hodgkin's, because I had a tumor on my clavicle and I had 2 in my chest. So lymph nodes. So that led to the heart issues, but it also led to stenosis in the shoulder. And here's the thing, and this is just human nature. When you are exercising and you reach that point of pain, right? Part of you says, I want to work my way through it. But if you can't work your way through it, you stop, right? It's not like you work through it and it gets better. You work into it, it gets worse. It gets worse.
You work at your edge, you know, and you practice ahimsa with yourself, and meaning that you be kind to yourself and not do harm to yourself.
Right. But here's the thing. When you are doing sports, even virtual reality racquetball, all right, I use my Oculus 2, and we spend, 40, 50, 60 minutes playing racquetball. I do all my racquetball with my left arm. And here's the thing. It'll cause motions where I am trying to hit the virtual ball that I would not do, let's say,
unless you were doing that.
Unless I was doing racquetball. I wouldn't consciously do these movements because my mind says, if you do this movement and you go beyond a certain spot, it's going to be painful. But when you're playing the game, you don't realize that. So you kind of push through it, and you might go, ouch, in your head. But guess what? You're loosening up those muscles, because the only way you're going to get those muscles to loosen up is small tears. You don't want a big tear, but you want to work at it. You want to get on the edges. So when I told my orthopedist what I was doing, because I saw him on Monday, he was like, "You're doing what?" I go, "Yeah, VR racquetball." That's awesome. He goes, "You're gonna work. That's the best way to really get that." It's Casey's behind you. It's.
I'm gonna go bring it to her.
Yeah. It was charging up. It's right, because it's not mine.
No, it's not yours. It's this one here.
Yeah, once they got enough of a charge, they're trying to find her. So yeah, give it to her. We'll charge it the rest of the way later.
Okay.
So now that's what we're doing. Our future daughter-in-law has the same device I have. She's a type 1 diabetic, so it had charge had died, so we were recharging for her. It's now saying that she's out of range. So if she's out of range, it goes off. Has a different sound when your blood sugar is low, your blood sugar is high. So having a continuous glucose monitor if you're diabetic, this is life-changing, because there's no better way to know when you're pulling some bullshit when it comes to your eating than to have something tell you, hey, you're pulling bullshit. Your blood sugar is rising too fast. And you're like, oh. So it's an immediate feedback, which is nice. Zachary, I like Aldi Hard Cider Wicked Grove. 90-point gold medal rating. All right. Well, you know what? I got to be honest. We didn't have an Aldi before the pandemic that was close enough to shop at. Now we do, and I haven't shopped there yet. And my problem is I have found that for food shopping, and this was started, pretty much before my congestive heart failure and my type 2 reality check. I had type 2 diabetes for years, but the reality check of it, um, last May, I find that shopping for food right now, we've been doing it with Amazon Fresh. Going online means I'm not chopping the aisles, right? You chop those aisles and you go, look, Oreos, holy shit. Look, they're on sale. We need it. Doritos. We need the Doritos. All that crap. No, you don't. You don't need that. So sometimes not chopping those aisles is a safety mechanism. I got to say
Stay
that.
on the outer aisles.
Well, yeah, stay in the outer aisles but
that's the vegetables.
yeah, or literally shop online if you're in an area
Even better
where they can deliver to you. We've been doing that with Amazon Fresh. We get a delivery every week to 10 days, and we have our staples that we go back to constantly. Um, we found that the egg whites that because I do omelets. I don't know 4 or 5 days a week, and it used to be 2 eggs for each of us, but that's too much cholesterol. So now we do a 1 egg and probably a serving and a half to 2 servings of egg whites. Egg whites aren't cheap if you're going through Amazon Fresh or through one of your local supermarket, but Costco,
wow,
you get
Costco
a 6-pack for less than $8.
Of course, Costco has a
So
deal.
it's amazing how the how cheap it is. Zachary, one bottle has sugar of 22 grams. For me, that would be too much. I'm not that I'm on a keto diet, not that I'm on an Atkins diet. I am not on one of those diets where I go into ketosis. That's not the game plan. The game plan is, and should I be? Maybe. Do I need to lose weight? Certainly.
Maybe we should be doing that.
But I'm more doing a keto-ish diet because I'm trying to control the blood sugar. So if you gave me a choice of, well, hey, you can have one bottle of cider with 22 grams of sugar, or one bottle of the diet ginger beer from Bundaberg. And again, this is somebody from our Discord server mentioned this a couple of Thursdays ago. It's diet. It's brewed in Australia. It's brewed over the course of 3 days. It actually has yeast in it. It actually has cane sugar as one of the ingredients. It comes out with 5 carbs, 25 calories. So it's not sugar free. It is
or
carb free. It's low sugar. It doesn't seem to have a big impact on my carbs, and it's tough. Here's the thing. We at some point, Rach and I were going to do an episode where we talk about. Most of our viewers are adults. I know that we have some younger generation, including my niece, Shannon. Shannon, shout out, love you. That watch the cast, especially the Game of Health stuff. I have found that if you're somebody who's managing your blood sugar, red wine, my experience, has been an excellent choice. A glass or two seems to lower my blood sugar and keeps it low throughout the night. Hard liquor like whiskeys, rum, vodka, pretty much low to no carbs. Doesn't have the same effect that wine seems to have, which lowers your carbs, but you're not adding to the carb stuff. Beer, surprisingly enough, the non-alcoholic beers often have a shit ton of carbs. Even if they only have 65 calories, you might see like, oh my god, 18 carbs. Where the hell did that come from? It's coming from the malt, I guess. So you might be better off actually having a low carb, a low alcohol beer or a light beer, if you can find one that has the right flavor. What I should actually be doing is saying, hey, can I get a Coors Light with a twist of lime, and give that, maybe try that for a little bit of an extra flavor. that's not going to.
Are you really that dissatisfied with the flavor of Coors Light?
I want something a little bit more.
Oh.
It's not that I'm dissatisfied with it. I just want a little bit more. I remember the good old days when I didn't think about it, and now it's like, oh, I got to think about it.
Yeah.
So, something I have not discussed is that I actually, at the beginning of this COVID thing, when I initially came down with pneumonia, and we didn't know I had congestive heart failure kicking up in the background. I got a really cool mini cake, and it was awesome. And it had local microbrews, and they were being delivered, and it was great, right? And I couldn't fucking drink it, and in the end, we had to dump like gallons of beer out, and then give this crap to the garbage because it wasn't feasible, especially from the carb count area.
Yeah.
I had like last summer was mostly alcohol free for me until near the end when one of my cardiologists, my heart failure specialist, was like, I asked him, is there a point we think where I can add, wine or a beer back to the diet? And he was like, oh, like you could have a glass or two of wine at night with dinner every day. Yeah, not a problem. He's like, yeah. I'm like, what? Really? He's like, oh yeah. And then he's like, oh, you can up your sodium to around 2,000. You have to be under 1,500. You can, and you can up your fluid intake too. So it was all like, oh, I'm doing well. But when you're doing well, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and go, oh, I'm doing well, so how can I screw myself up?
That's the thing.
You don't do that. Mm-hmm. Okay? When you find out you're doing well, reward yourself? Sure. Do I allow myself, if my family is celebrating a birthday and they're buying ice cream cake, do I allow myself to have ice cream cake
course.
now? Last summer I did not. Last summer I was like, I can't. Now, yes, I'll have a slice of ice cream cake. But I'll also watch everything else I'm eating. And I will not have the potatoes that I used to have. I won't have the things that are high in starch. And you'll be like, all right, well, I'm going to sacrifice X, Y, and Z so I can have that slice of ice cream cake. So these are things that you have to almost think ahead if you're going to try to keep yourself. Now, I don't want to say in the zone. That sounds too forced. But if you want to keep yourself moving forward, if you don't want to find yourself taking steps back, and this past Thursday was Thursday. Mm-hmm. I was like, my God, my blood sugar's over 300. What the hell? I take a step back. That's why I say it's like, yeah, I'll have wine. Give me the Chardonnay. So the Cabernet. Sorry, the Cabernet.
The Cabernet. You don't like that?
No, Cabernet Sauvignon, not the Chardonnay. Sounded nice, but not what I drink. So enough about my going on. Rach, who we've mentioned, has stepped away from social work. I'd like to say that she's officially retired from social work, although she hasn't officially retired from helping people.
Yeah.
So now she's focusing more on the yoga aspect, and you've been doing some yoga training this week.
Yeah. It's accessible yoga training, and it's very nice because it helps me as an instructor bring yoga to people that wouldn't normally present in like a studio setting, or often normally wouldn't sort of consider yoga. People with different types of disabilities, health issues, any manner of difference that somebody might have, and just like looking at ways of how to have the space be more inclusive, and have your teaching be more inclusive of different types of bodies and just different types of presentations that people have. And it's just been really nice so far. We've done things like chair yoga and bed yoga. Who knew you could do bed yoga?
So, yeah. As an aside, we hit 1,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. So Joe the lawyer was being a pain in the ass a couple of weeks ago. or was it last week? And it was like, oh, well, if they had 1,000 subscribers, Tenkar should be out there in hot pants doing yoga for charity. Um, Here's the deal.
It'll happen.
Won't be hot pants. It will be yoga pants, and it will be brightly colored yoga pants. You will not.
It'll be a nice presentation.
You will not be able to miss my ass. Okay, I'm sure it'll make a very large presentation. I will get a tank top to coordinate with it. I don't know if I will get sweatbands for the head and the wrists. If we raise enough money, here's the deal: before we do this, we're gonna take pledges. We're gonna take pledges for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and we're gonna do it in the name of Doug Ray of North Texas RPG Con. Doug is suffering from terminal cancer. Every day he's with us is a blessing at this point.
Yes.
So, but we're gonna do it in his name. It's not gonna happen until after Game Hall, because on the assumption that we are still going to Game Hall, I don't want a bunch of people. I know.
Like, I know that ass.
Yeah,
Hey.
I know this community. Somebody's gonna screen cap it, get a shirt made, and I'm gonna be at Game Hall, and somebody's like, "Hey, Tenkar, I got your shirt," and I God bless. After Game Hall, so the next con would be TotalCon in February, and
So
by
there's a
then,
little time for stuff to die down,
right? Or time for us to do another charity drive.
Yeah.
In either case, so it will happen. I want to thank all the viewers, all the listeners. We're over 1,000.
We'd love to have people, do that with us. Like whether you're in a chair, whether you're on a mat, or
it's for charity.
Whatever you're doing,
I'm gonna learn it enough
just to be able to get a chance to be able to see what is this thing about.
Right. Listen,
how does it provide some?
I am more than an amateur at. Well, actually, I'm less than an amateur at this. I am a total noob at yoga. I might be married to somebody who's very interested in yoga. I'm going to be learning yoga enough to not be a total embarrassment to my wife. Okay. And here's the thing. The game plan is, as the new year comes, Rach will like to do some freely accessible classes for people in our gaming community, to get yoga out there and think. Listen, don't think of it just as your physical health. Think of it as your mental
spiritual
health.
and mental health, and part of this too is like a lot of people feel like, oh well, I have to be flexible to do yoga, and that's a pile of shit. You don't have to be. There's ways that we can accommodate whatever presentation somebody has,
right?
And make the poses accessible to you.
If I can do, listen, I have a,
and so part of that, understanding is probably going to come through Eric. He'll be able to show, yes, this is the pose, how the pose looks in your body. Yeah.
It's like, well, he can move his right shoulder, but he can't move his left shoulder. My left hip in the last couple of months has gotten tight, so putting on my left sock is a literal pain in the hip.
It's because you haven't been doing that movement.
No, so we're going to work on a lot of stuff.
Probably May.
Listen, my progression through it can show you how you can progress through it. So, but now, Rach, somebody, Vaughn has a question for you. Now that she's retired, can she share stories about her most ridiculous clients?
Yeah.
You know what? We'd have to really scrape the details off that. Now, you know what? We actually shared a client / customer / complainant where
we'd be like, he'd tell me about somebody, I'd be like, oh, that sounds really familiar.
Yeah. And I describe, and it's like, and here's the thing, we are both at the time, we're both under non-disclosure, so we're kind of both working.
It's always a non-disclosure with HIPAA and
right. Well, for us too, when it comes to complainants, especially in internal affairs.
Yeah.
So, but my complainant was definitely emotionally disturbed, not in a violent way. Just
No,
just
most of them aren't.
just a little delusional, and I was just like, and by the way, claimed that she was a professor,
A doctor, yeah, a
a
PhD,
PhD.
and I think she was.
Well, when I mentioned that, Rach went, her eyes went over. And wait a second, did she? And then and she a doctorate of, and did she say where she had worked? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, I know exactly who. I was like, oh my god,
like, oh no,
we crossed. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
This was in my last 6 months when I was working midnight. So that was one of those bizarre little things where you where the two jobs kicked up. Will the 1,000 sub yoga video be in your backyard? I don't know.
What does that mean in the back? Oh, filmed out there.
Well, here's the thing. It's not going to be live. It might actually be something where I have to learn how to do editing just to make it presentable and not just a bag.
No, we're gonna do. We'll do between yoga therapy and accessible yoga. You'll be able to do it live.
Oh,
I would never set you up with something that would be like,
all right.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do.
I was thinking
Warrior 3 right now. Balance on one foot and hinge forward. No, we're not doing that.
Tenkar goes flying through a TV set.
No.
All right. Here's the thing. We live
you have to do the right things for your students.
Here's the thing. If we do it live, there are some issues. All right. One would be time frame. October is going to be, unless you want to see Tenkar with hard man nipples, might not be a good thing for me to be outside at the end of October doing this. That's number one. Number two, it's going to have to be earlier in the day because there'll be no lighting because of the shortening of the days. We do have a family room / yoga room that is kind of set for this. We can do it from there. And again, this is kind of a thank you to the community, and we have fun. Listen, on Wednesday, Bad Mike and myself gave away $525 in drive-through RPG gift certificates, handmade box for dice that I had gotten on Kickstarter. It was one of 3 that we picked up, so that's going to be shipped to somebody. Bad Mike is shipping out Swords and Wizardry books to somebody else. Oh, Ty Beard, I think, won them. And somebody in the UK randomly would have won them, but since he's in the UK, we don't ship to the UK. He's getting PDF copies of a bunch of Swords of Wizardry stuff. We like to give back to the community. And if me, looking like a bit of a goofball, can raise money for a good charity in the name of people in this community,
right, and put the word out about,
so be it.
Yoga. Yeah.
Forex cops hard nipples equals lights on. It might be, but it's certainly going to be an issue with the backyard. And here's the other thing with the backyard. Inside, we can use a decent camera. Outdoors, it would have to be probably the iPad, which can be a decent camera. But the lighting is going to be an issue even in the daytime. So maybe
we can try and see what it looks like out there, but,
right. But
we can't guarantee.
We can't guarantee, but I believe that we already have $300 or $400 pledged from my Monday Night Gaming group. Nice. We will put out, we'll seek pledges from others. It's going to be like an honor system. It's not like I'm going to be going, well, you got to give me the money so I can pass it on. No, we're going to give you a link where you can make your pledge, and it's going to be the honor system. Because, well, A, it's a great community, and B, listen, if you give $5, you're going to do a world of good. Because places like St. Jude, they do an honorable work, honorable job. Some people would say they do God's work, but maybe you don't believe in a higher power. That's fine. But they do good work and good deeds. And good deeds often just speak for themselves. So something like that, it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, I don't have a problem looking like a fool for a good cause. I think it works out pretty well. Troublemaker himself, Zach is in the room. So Zach, yes, I did mention that we will have after this we will have our racquetball, which is good for loosening up the stenosis in my left shoulder. Having Zach pop in is great because listen, here's the other thing too. When it comes
What
to,
is he saying? Hey, I'm ready.
no, he's just coming and checking in. Here's the other thing when it comes to exercise. Exercise is monotonous, and many of us can't do it on our own. I'm certainly one of those who I run out of my get up and go. I mean, when you do it yourself, you're like, oh, jeez, really? How much? Oh man, only 8 minutes have passed. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, right?
Oh, I know. That's the whole thing that's nice about yoga, because it's like you get time conscious when you're like, oh, I hate this fucking pose, but then you're like, all right, I did one side. I only have one side left.
So
and then it goes on to another pose that maybe you enjoy.
But you're doing that with others, even
community.
Even when you're doing it via Zoom, you're doing it online. You're doing it with others. That feedback, like Zach said, that's why he calls me, because doing it with somebody else, Zach and I will talk. We'll talk shop. We'll talk BS. We'll talk gaming gossip. We'll talk what's going on in our lives, and at the same time, get in a heck of a good workout. And it doesn't feel like a workout. It feels like you were socializing with a good friend. Rach and I, when we go for our hikes, I don't hike by myself.
No.
Hike, and here's the thing: when I got my Apple iPods, my little earpieces, I was like, "Wow, this is great! I'm gonna go for walks by myself." Rach was still working at the time. Guess what? Because it isn't enjoyable. But Rach and I can walk for an hour and a half and just talk about whatever with our dog, and time goes by like that.
Yes.
Exercise. Some people can do it. Some people are great at exercising on their own. And if you're one of those, God bless you. But if you are not one of those people who can exercise on your own, you have to find a good partner. You have to, and it doesn't have to be. Rach is my partner for walks and hiking, right? Zach is my partner for racquetball and killing orcs and dragons.
They're breaking in.
They're breaking in. Rach has heard that so much. This is, and it isn't just a positive feedback of, wow, we had a great game. I'm going to improve my score. That's part of it. But the idea is that you're getting a workout. You're moving these movements, and you're not thinking that you're doing movements that are exercise, that are increasing your heart rate, that are stretching out your shoulder, that are building up muscle. It's not that type of concept. You are literally socializing. You're literally, and you're participating in a social event, and you happen to be doing something healthy at the same time, and that's a rarity. If you've heard my voice, you don't want me to sing the past.
Well, I mean, I can teach him a chant, but
no.
At the end or something.
Do smart things on your own. Listen, can I do Beat Saber on my own? Sure, but you know what? You can only do so much Beat Saber before you get bored. I don't get bored playing with Zach. All right, when we're doing racquetball, usually what happens is one of us or the other, our headset starts going, oh, my headset's going, gotta have to call it, because we've been playing that long. That's what you want when it comes to getting your exercise. Do you have to get exercise every day? No, but it's good if you can, and you can vary it. Again, listen, I use my Apple Watch.
Yeah, we prefer to do some type of movement every day, but there are times where we don't.
My Apple Watch will tell me
too many things are happening.
Calories burned. It'll tell me exercise minutes. And I'll be honest with you, racquetball rarely gets me exercise minutes where I get my heart rate up that high, but it will definitely show an increase in calories burned. And you got to set little personal goals. I always want to hit that 400 calorie burn on a day with my Apple Watch, even if it means that Rachel seeing me in my chair doing stretches with my arms to get, at 11 o'clock at night, trying to get those last 20 calories to kick off on the watch.
Mm-hmm.
It almost becomes a game. It almost becomes a game, and it's not a bad thing to do it that way. It anything that helps motivate is good. Listen, there's motivations like when you're on a diet, right? Like, oh well, if I stick to my diet for 7 days, I can have a cheat day. That's not a real motivation, right?
Mm-hmm.
The motivation shouldn't be a cheat day. If you want to say, oh my,
yeah, the motivator shouldn't be engaging in old behaviors.
right now, if you want to say, well, if I do this, I will allow myself to have a single scoop of Baskin Robbins. Maybe that's okay, right? But that's that once a week. It doesn't mean I can have a day where I eat shit.
I'm gonna order, 5 scoops.
5 scoops. Let me get a super big gulp Dr. Pepper. Let me move on to a Big Mac. They no longer supersize fries. Get me 2 large fries because you can't supersize it, right? Do you really want to do that great? Oh, so V wants chanting. Well, we can do chanting.
Okay.
And we could do a chant in the singing bowl episode.
Right. We can do that separate, or we can do it as part of the yoga class.
I would do it separate. I think that it has its own appreciation. Ty is in the room. Ty, welcome. Good to see you. It was good to see you last night, Ty.
Yeah.
We had to bow out though after I don't know, like 1:30 or so. I was like, I can't. They've covered the piezo sludge.
Yeah, it's something after the ladies that went missing in the Teton National Park.
Yeah,
and I'm like, on that note, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, it gets late here in New York compared to Texas. Zach just switches headsets. Listen, I'm lucky I have a headset. I don't have the multiple headsets that you do. And if I had multiple headsets, guess what? It would be hers would be the second one. So we're working on that. Ooh, ginger beer is great. The problem is it gives me gas. So I start belching. And we don't want me to belch, right?
So, no, sir. No.
It would not be very nice or pleasant.
No.
Zach says he is here to shame Eric into exercise, and that is certainly a valid point. And again, that's the reinforcement they have when you have a regimen that you do with somebody else. I have friends that used to
the vocal court was the high point. Yes, it was. I love the blind. He said the vocal court was the high point.
Rach loved the comment.
I love the blind, like the blind test. Well, these blind people, they should be on a pedestal. Yes.
You know the movie Legally Blonde. I married the legally blind blonde. There you go. But now I lost my train of thought.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I was just saying.
No, it's fine. Listen, I lose my train of thought often. I blame Ronnie Chemo from 15 years ago, but hey, I can only do that for so long. Look at that. We've been yapping for over 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Folks. Again, 1,000 subscribers was something that I did not expect to be within our reach at any point, and the support's been from the community. I really do appreciate it. Actually, this is pretty good. So, Joe, we're sorry we weren't at ChireCon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to touch base with you
later. We were looking
later.
forward to seeing you and your wife.
Yes. We have to touch base with you later and see how it went. I'm sure it went beautifully. Tom runs an amazing convention. Like I said, I would not have been in the right frame of mind with the potential failure of my car going in the back of my head. I was happy to get home on Thursday and park it in front of my house and go, haven't driven it since, because it might not get driven until it's time to go to the dealer to trade it in. We'll see.
Yeah.
But again, we lost out on a really nice bed and breakfast at the something free. I forget what the name of the place was.
It was up in Canaan.
Yeah, and it wasn't losing out on a deposit. We lost out on the full boat because we
couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was such short notice anyway.
Yeah, so it's a shame. You had a TPK in the game, and you probably gave away all your modules. Oh, you son of a bitch! Well, your players have collectibles that people like Bill Webb and Bill Meinhardt will be like, "There's only 6 out there. There's only 6. There's only They'll be like, I want a copy." So
it needs to be in my book.
Well, at least Bill Meinhardt will be saying that.
He's the one that has like the big
Bill
catalog of all the stuff.
Bill Meinhardt travels with a catalog.
Yes,
it is an impressive catalog. Yes. And I've seen the catalog, and if there's a way to measure your private parts in gaming, Bill is
he's sticking it right out there.
Yeah, it's like boom, and you're like, wow, I really feel insignificant and
I'm sure you could make a thick binder of your things too. Like all the shit you have in storage, man.
No.
All the stuff in the hallway.
No, that doesn't come close.
And every single room we have.
I have stuff everywhere. But I have some stuff that's pretty collectible. But even when I consider it to be really collectible, Bill Meinhardt was like, "Oh,
it's just that."
Yeah, it's like, well, Bill, I have Ken St. Andre's personal 2nd edition copy of Tunnels and Trolls, signed by Ken. Thinking, great, right? I mean, this is the be all end all. He goes, wow, that's an excellent acquisition. And he flips the page. He goes, yeah, look here, I have Ken St. Andre's 1st edition of Tunnels and Trolls, personal play copy, signed by Ken St. Andre. I'm like, fuck me. And then I was like, all right, I got one other shot. Gateways magazine, published by Queens College in like the year or two before I joined the gaming club, but I inherited as president of the club a full collection of it in an okay condition. I brought that up and good. I have Gateways magazine. It's Queens College, early 80s. I'm like, yeah. And he flips through. He goes, yeah, I have them all in mint, signed by the publisher. I was like, you know what? Never mind. Screw it. You're not gonna. When you start pulling out your private parts and gaming with Bill Meinhardt, don't even bother. Just walk away, or just go look in awe because you're never gonna meet expectations. I saw those Brazilian D&D cartoon cups, Joe, on Facebook. They look amazing. I don't know if I have any connections in Brazil that could get us copies. Probably not. And remember, the Brazilian Postal Service is infamously bad. I don't even know if it would make it to the States. Zach says something horribly disgusting about Bill Meinhardt, and it's funny as hell. And he probably has Ken's underwear, and that's quite possible. I don't. What my question would be, were they laundered or not? That's the only question.
We don't want to know.
Yeah, we probably don't want to know. It would be a very interesting question to answer, but maybe it's one best left unanswered and unsaid.
Indeed.
God. All right. So do you think this is a good place for us to wrap?
I think we're there.
Again, we totally apologize for not being at ShireCon.
We're so sorry we missed everybody.
It really it's up there with North Texas, in that level of I don't want to ever miss it. And we had none last year, and we had to miss it this year, and it sucks.
If it's any consolation, I was cursing and bitching and moaning and very unhappy, and I was trying to manipulate anything I could to get out there.
I even had a dream that Rach was bitching about not being able to get.
It wasn't
somewhere.
bitching at him. It was bitching more about like.
And
You
I was like, we don't have a car, and I wanted to curse her out. And even in my dream, I realized that would not be a good solution. So instead, I just put my head up against the wall and screamed at the top of my lungs. And in the middle of my scream, I went, "Wow, I wonder if I'm screaming in real life since this is a dream." But she didn't wake up, so I guess I wasn't really screaming. It must have been pretty damn quiet. Again, I really wish we'd been there. It would have been a lot of fun, and it would have been a great way to recharge my gaming battery. Now that being said, and kind of on topic before we wrap this up, one of my friends from my extended gaming group reached out. We have an email thread that goes off every day, and sometimes it goes somewhere, and sometimes it just doesn't. But threw out a comment overnight, Eric, how close are we to getting the Crips and Things campaign going? And I was like, give me 7 days notice and I'll have everything ready to go. Because I'm getting my old gaming group and which morphed into my old EverQuest group with some friends from Texas. And we're going to get that group going via VTT and aim for once a month. And I'm excited. I feel almost giddy, like I'm a teenager again, getting to play with my friends that I've known since high school. So it's exciting when you can play with people that came into your life. All right, so I am 53, so 20, 35, 36, 37 years ago. That's pretty special. That's awesome. We get together once or twice a year now, but we hope to be getting together online at least once a month. So, on that note, real quick stuff. We are still in the midst of the world of the pandemic. So I'm going to throw something up there, which I probably should put it up. We have a voicemail, 347-509-5168. Listen, I was a cop for 20 years. I know what stress is. I know how people cope with stress. Some of it's healthy. I know what I did was probably not healthy. I took a lot of it and I just bottled it up and put it aside for later. If you need to vent, if you need to just unload, call that number. It'll go to a voicemail. We won't pick it up. It'll go to voicemail. We will listen. And if you say, Tenkar and Rage, can one of you call me back? We'll call you back.
Happy to do so.
We'll call you back. All right.
If you just need somebody to bitch with about this damn virus.
If you need somebody to just
hear you,
vent to, hear you, we're all in this together. Sometimes we forget about that. It isn't just you and me. No one is an island. That really sucks. And thinking like you're an island is a real way to damn yourself. I hate to say that. So a lot of members of law enforcement consider themselves an island. They don't share with their family because they don't want to burden their family. Listen, you can share with us. It won't be a burden. Maybe you just want to call. They might go, hey, listen, guys, don't call me back. I just needed to say this.
Yeah. Or blah.
Maybe you're going to call and say, hey, listen, we listened to your episode, and you were talking about some, keto stuff, and you might have something you want to add to the conversation, and you might say, hey, this could be something. If you want to leave a voicemail and you want us to play it, just start out with like, hey, Eric and Rach, this is great for the live stream. I can play it right back through the speakers on this computer, and we will be happy to play it and interact with that. Really, this live stream, all of our live streams, but especially this one, Gamers Health, it's about you, not as a gamer.
But if it is something that you don't want out there, just let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
I don't want to share your personal stuff.
Yeah, we don't want to share anything that anybody doesn't want out there.
We do want to
want their voice up or.
Yeah, we do want to support you. And I know there are some people out there, because I've seen it, I've heard them, that you feel that you don't have anybody you can share with. we're happy to step into that role if you need it.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want anybody in our current situation to feel like they're alone. On that note, um, be safe, be well, God bless.
Mm-hmm.
Roll your dice, roll them well. We're in the midst of the world of COVID, and
Do whatever you need to do to stay safe and make
Yes.
sure that your family members are safe and take care.
Yes, and knock on wood. I'll be back again tomorrow. And Rach is knocking on wood. Look at that. I'll be back again tomorrow with a regular episode. Uh, there has been a request, multiple requests, for me to live stream games with my friends. And I don't know if you all know what you're requesting. I don't think we could ever do a live stream if anybody wanted to be gainfully employed in their life. Maybe we could record it and I could get a professional to edit out all the damning stuff. I don't know. We'll consider it. We'll throw it out there for the wolves to eat. Really. Zach, I'll see you in a bit. Everybody else, I will talk to you all tomorrow.
All right.
God bless. Be good.